In light of the lovely events of 2020, there has been a lot of talk around the industry of the need for an integrated risk management approach, or IRM, to compliance. So based on that, what's your take on integrated risk management?
Well, I actually thought about this morning, considering the questions we're going to go through, and I thought, this has always been what we should be doing. Integrated risk, if we're defining it as ensuring that every single area of the bank has been risk assessed and targeted for worst case scenario, right? I mean, that essentially would encompass like some of the operational risk reviews that we see, business continuity, disaster recovery, and then all the very, very many regulatory audits that we do throughout the year. So as far as a recent 2020 COVID kind of reevaluation of what it means to have holistic risk management, what I kind of come to with that is a renewed or maybe first time emphasis on business continuity and disaster recovery that we have always had, but has been very selectively targeted towards certain scenarios. So whenever those are run, they're run by, and I've seen them, I've done them, they're run by scenarios of one bank location getting wiped out by a tornado. Where do those people go? And at the same time, they're always run by who are the key individuals at that location. And so I think the call for integration here based off 2020 has been to move that up and to move that out, because the way COVID has impacted the industry, it didn't just impact those key persons at executive level and above. It didn't just hit that one location. It hit globally, and it impacted every single employee at every single office. So I think the call for integration and lessons learned off of the COVID scenario, which we are not done with yet, is to broaden that and to consider that the person doing data analysis is just as key as the executive running that department if both of them are taken out of the scenario. So just broadening the definition of key persons, which in a sense is kind of a beautiful thing, that our contributions as employees in any level of defense is key. So that's my takeaway on 2020, but ask me again. Ask me again in a month, it might be different.
Boy, I sure hope that this is the end of the end of the road and there's not something new to consider, but so is life. There's always something to be considered.
We're all hopeful, but yeah, and I think another thing is like this working from home. In the disaster recovery scenarios that I've seen, work from home is a consideration in all of them. Or if not work from home, like work from a secondary location. I think that's been a big shift as well. So I would think we'll see more written into policy and procedure about how do we take risk management completely, out of the office online. But at the same time, I mean, we've accelerated so fast. It is online now. So I mean, most banks are talking about like at earliest March, as far as I've heard, to go back in person. So anticipate
March of 2021.
At earliest,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so interesting topic. I could probably go on about that, but those are my key takeaways, I think.